So the first question that arises that we ask ourselves is what is the wisdom in the creation of Iblis? You know, many times our young son or daughter comes to us and says, Father, mother, abati, why did Allah create this evil being called shaitan? Why did Allah create Iblis? I mean, forget children, sometimes we ask, why would Allah create Iblis? And the response to this is actually not simple to say, but we can respond preliminarily by stating the premise of this question is the assumption that Allah should create us and put us into Jannah immediately. There should be no evil, no pain, no suffering. We want to have ultimate peace immediately. And we say, but no, that's not this dunya. That's the next life. And we shall get that peace where there is no Iblis. We shall get that place of no pain, no evil, no suffering. But we have to earn it. We have to walk through this life avoiding the temptations of Iblis. The presumption that there should be no evil only comes from the mind of the one who thinks he's entitled. Since Allah created me, this world should be perfect. But we say, it is perfect for our time and place. And it is a stepping stone to the real perfection of the next. So there must be an element of Allah knows. We might not fully understand. And that's why even the angels ask, why would you do this, O Allah? And Allah says, I know what you do not know. So we begin by stating we must resign the wisdom of the creation of Iblis ultimately to Allah. But we can find some consolation in some aspects. And Ibn al-Qayyim, for example, in his famous book, Ighathat al-Lahafan, he actually has 25 pages dedicated to the question of why would Allah create Iblis. And he has wisdoms that are very profound. You will find some translations of this document in English somewhere online. But I'll summarize some of these points. Ibn al-Qayyim says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala desires the purity of His followers. Allah desires the iman and taqwa, the isti'adah, the tawakkul, the inaba. Allah desires the piety of the righteous. And that piety shall only be manifested by fighting against Iblis. There must be an Iblis that manifests the piety of the righteous people. And so, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed this evil entity to exist, it is not because He likes the evil. It is because He loves the piety that comes in combating the evil. The righteousness that comes in overcoming that evil. Also of the wisdoms is that Allah Azza wa Jal personified evil. Can you imagine if evil were some type of cosmic force? If evil were not an actual created entity, what would we do then? But we have evil personified in one being, one entity. And we thank Allah for this because we can now feel a sense of consolation knowing that evil is manifested in one makhluk. And this makhluk is not all-powerful. This makhluk is not God. This makhluk is a creation of Allah. And so evil can be conquered when we turn to the one who created this entity. So we thank Allah that evil can be personified in one being. We know that being. We have been told to take precautions against that being. Also of the wisdoms is a lesson for all of us in the story of our father Adam alayhi salam. Iblis is no stranger to humanity. Imagine if we had somebody who showed no enmity to us, no harm to us. We would say, how can we be scared of this entity? Why should we hate this entity? But Allah Azza wa Jalla in His wisdom allowed the same entity to be the cause of the downfall of our mother and father. The same entity to do what He did to Adam and Hawa. The same entity to continue to fight every single prophet. And so when we have one particular entity whom history has shown has caused so much damage, then how can we not take precautions? How can we not feel a sense of genuine anger at this entity and turn to Allah to protect ourselves from this entity? Also of the wisdoms of the creation of this evil known as Iblis is that we see the diversity of the power of Allah Azza wa Jal. He creates the best of the best and He creates other than this. He creates Jibreel and Mikael and He creates Iblis and the jinn. He creates the prophets and He creates Fir'aun and Abu Lahab and all the rest of them. So Allah Azza wa Jal's qudra is manifested. Allah's power is manifested. And in this we are in awe at the magnificence of the Creator. of the wisdoms of the creation of this entity is that we can truly appreciate good only by contrasting it with evil. We can appreciate beauty when we see what exactly is ugly. We can appreciate the brightness of the day only after the darkness of the night. So by having these contrasts and by knowing how evil an entity can be, because in the end of the day, the evil of Iblis is completely irrational. He gains nothing by misguiding us. He's going to Jahannam anyway. He gains nothing by causing us harm. What an irrational evil is this? And we have done nothing to him such that he's an enemy to us. But when that evil is there, so then we are able to understand that there's a particular being, a makhluk of Allah, who harbors so much evil that we have to take our precautions. We have to be careful, and this helps us be more righteous.